Hello and welcome back to 4FS Gaming. Our weekly hunt video is out a little bit earlier this week because we have some exciting news. Update 1.4.3 for Hunt Showdown is already on the test server, and with it comes 2 new weapon variants. We're also getting the rest of the Lawson Delta Trials, some new cosmetics, and some really game-changing tweaks to equipment and traits. Now I've played around with this stuff on the test server this morning, and it seems to be, as predicted, a really solid yet small update. So let's have a look at the new weapon variants first, which are both shortened versions of the Winfield M1895C. The Winfield Vandal is a medium slot weapon for $35 Hunt. It has one less shot than the normal Winnie C and slightly slower bullet velocity at 370 meters per second rather than the 400 meters per second of normal Winfields. It works with both the iron repeater and levering traits, and it has increased sway as you might expect from a shortened weapon. After playing around a bit, I think it's a wonderful addition to the game. It's certainly not a high performance gun or anything that would be top tier, but for a cheap starter weapon, it adds so much versatility to those medium slot loadouts, especially when paired with crossbows or hand cannons before you have access to Quartermaster. The lever inaccuracy isn't great, but it is still brutal firepower for up close encounters, while remaining effective for headshots to just over 90 meters. This is basically a PAX with a faster fire rate and better ammo economy and reload, but it does take up that medium slot. However, it is still limited by compact ammo penetration. The second variant they're adding is a Winfield Vandal Deadeye, which as predicted is exactly the same as the Vandal, except it has a Deadeye scope. This means that you'll have a nice versatile ranged backup weapon. However, it does feel like you're holding a squirming eel when trying to aim this thing. It sways and bucks around a lot. Between levering, Deadeye Scopesmith, and Steady Hand, it can still be made very impressive as a choice for only $45 Hunt. Let's look at the new cosmetics as well. The first 3 can be purchased with blood bonds under the Gold Rush for the Winfield Vandal, which appears very opulent, and then we have Sinner's Jezzail for the Mosin Obrez, which is a very detailed skin. I quite like this one, and for all those that swear by the Mosquito gang, you can now use the Mosquito, which is a shiny Nagant silencer. There is one more legendary incoming, and that is the Last Resort Lamat, which is unlocked after reaching 90 stars in the Trials mode. In order to get this, you'll have to play the new set of trials dropping with 1.4.3 to finish off the Lawson Delta map, and this includes 2 new sniper trials, 3 parkour trials, and 4 new wave trials. So that is it for all of the new content, and now I want to talk about perhaps the most important changes in this update: choke bombs. Choke bombs have always been very versatile. You could use them to kill immolators, extinguish teammates, create makeshift alarms by causing people to cough if they ran through them, turn off the butcher's fire, cover a window or gap to stop explosives being thrown in, and many more interesting uses. However, I never felt justified bringing them in on a consumable slot. No matter how many interesting uses they had, I would always prefer a frag or a dynamite bundle because that could just kill someone outright and do so pretty easily. Well, as of this update, choke bombs are now tools. And not only that, you get 2 uses when you take one in, or 3 if you have frontiersmen. This is a pretty massive change because the tool slot is much less competitive than your consumable slots. As long as you've got your knife and your medkit, the other 2 are really up to personal preference. It allows you to use these choke bombs freely, and still always have one on you if your partner gets burned. This should remove all of those complaints about insta-burning as well. It's going to be so easy to put out a burning friend that burning in combat is going to become largely irrelevant, and reserved for those times when the last enemy has completely disappeared and you need to draw them out, or when you want to burn that solo for peace of mind. Simply burning to apply pressure now has a pretty hard counter, and I think that's good. Someone who's actively fighting to save their friend shouldn't have their friend punished just because someone threw a lantern, especially when they were going to lose the fight anyway. There is one other change that will alter the game slightly, and that is the ability to banish the boss by using the serpent animation as well as picking up the bounty. This means that if someone is camping the boss lair after killing the boss but before banishing, you as an attacker, if you risk getting up nice and close with serpent and going through that long animation, you can start the banishing, getting the money and XP from starting the banish, but also the opportunity to regain health chunks for you and your team. Now, due to this change, people will be much more likely to banish immediately and the game will progress, which is how it's kind of supposed to be played. If defending a boss lair is your go-to tactic because you're running short range weapons, that's absolutely fine. You're just now going to have to do it as is intended, which is picking up the bounty and identifying where the enemies are so you can attack them and push out or run in the opposite direction. They are also adding to the world a rare golden cash register, and this is going to yield 25 blood bonds when it's opened, so keep your eye out for that one. Crytek are also fixing a number of bugs in this patch, and they're aware of others and working on fixes for them, such as the notorious persistent poison visual effect bug. I do want to bring your attention to the most important bug fix, and that is that you can again shoot the bell on Arden Parish Tower to cause it to ring. This is a feature that has been sorely missed. I'm looking forward to 1.4.3 hitting the live servers, but mainly because this should be the last minor patch until we get something more substantial like 1.5. And hopefully, with that, some meaty content like ammo customization, or dare I say it, a new map. I really would like an announcement on the new map. Everything on the short-term roadmap will be fulfilled when this comes to live servers, so stay tuned for further updates. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, thank you to our awesome Patreon supporters. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more, and you can also connect with us through our social media links in the description below. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming.